Als minister van Binnenlandse Zaken had de Finse politica Päivi Räsänen leiding over de politie. Niet wetende dat ze jaren later werd verhoord met de Bijbel op tafel vanwege haar opvattingen over huwelijk en seksualiteit. Welkom bij Uitgelicht. Goedenavond. Ze is al meerdere keren vrijgesproken, maar toch wordt door het Finse Openbaar Ministerie de rechtszaak hervat. De Finse politica Päivi Räsänen moet verschijnen voor het Finse Hoge Gerechtshof om haar christelijke visie te verdedigen. Bij ons in de uitzending Päivi Räsänen. Welcome. Welcome to our show.
Thank you so much.
So, it's been almost 5 years since this legal process. What were those years like for you personally?
Yes, I have to say that this has been a very surprising process. I have been 30 years in politics as a member of parliament, and I could never have believed that something like that could happen in Finland. At the same time, as this has taken a lot of my time, and of course, there have been also some dark moments during this process. I have also got a lot of joy because I have felt that this all has been in God's hands, and somehow it has been my calling to defend right of freedom of speech and freedom of faith, and it has been also a privilege. It has given also so much possibilities to tell what is the solution to the problem of sin.
Yes. Can you elaborate a little bit more on why you say and feel it's your calling? Because I'm curious.
When I entered to politics, I wanted to defend Christian values, to fight for example, rights to life for unborn babies. I'm a medical doctor by my education, and also to, for example, marriages as a foundation of the society. And now, when the time has changed and we have the Christian values are questioned in our society, I think that it has been like a privilege to fight for these freedoms also in courts, courthouse.
Yeah. I can imagine that it hasn't been an easy 5 years for you. Has it done something to your faith as a Christian? Did it make you stronger?
Yes, I have seen how God keeps his promises. There are a lot of promises in the Bible that I have not understood before this case, because, for example, Jesus speaks about those situations when you are taken in front of courts, and he will give a word to you. And I have seen that God keeps his promises, and he is real. Jesus is there also with me in police interrogation rooms and in courthouses.
So, about this legal case, for the viewers who do not know what you're up against, can you explain to us what the main argument is of the prosecutor?
Yes, this process started almost 5 years ago, and it started from a Twitter update that I made. At that time, the Finnish Evangelical Lutheran Church, which is the main church in Finland, decided to support the Helsinki Pride event, and it was a shock to me. And especially that's why that I thought that it would, these statements of the bishops, of the leadership of the church, they would undermine people's trust on the Bible. And that's why I was worried, and I thought that what should I do now? Should I resign the church? And
what
I
did
prayed.
you do?
Yes, and then I felt that now it is my time to speak. And so I wrote a Twitter update. I took a photo from the Bible, from the
This is
yes, from the book of Romans, from its first chapter, and where Apostle Paul teaches about these same-sex couples and relationships. And I asked the leadership that how does this fit to the foundation of the church? And after that, there came criminal complaints about my Twitter updates.
But it took a long time, or was it like immediately?
Quite soon, in a few weeks. And then the police started to investigate the case. And when it came into public, there became more and more criminal complaints about one old booklet that I had written already 2004.
Yeah, I will want to go into that a little bit later, because I'm still really curious, because we can't read the Finnish. So maybe you can translate for us what you wrote in your tweet.
Yes, I asked that the church has announced that it is an official partner of the Pride event, that how does the doctrine of church fit to that, that the shame and sin is celebrated as a pride.
So what was your intention with?
My intention was to make a question to the leadership of the church and ask that are they truthful for the foundation of the church, which is the Bible? Because without the Bible we do not have church. It is the word of God.
Did they respond to your tweet?
Yes, in fact they responded. I had a discussion, open discussion with our Archbishop at that time, but he defended the solution of the church. Yes, it is an issue that divides the church.
We see that even here in the Netherlands. Your case, as an example, causes a lot of division even amongst Christians. So what do you think that is?
Yes, I'm worried for the development of churches, because if the church doesn't follow the word of God, if it doesn't follow Jesus, it is not church anymore. Because it is so important for people to know what is the word of God, because then it is not only about marriage or gender, it is also about salvation of people, because it is God who defines what is sin and what is not. And I have told also in front of the police and in the courthouse that we all are equal. God has created all people, gay people and all people are valuable in front of God. But we all are sinners, and it is God who tells what is sin. And we all are in need of grace. Jesus died for all people. And that's why it is so important that they can hear the message of God. If they lose their trust on the Bible, especially young people, when they start to read Bible and they see what is written in, for example, the book of Romans, and what the church says and bishop says, there is a contradiction. And there is a big danger that they lose their trust on Bible. And then they may lose also the way to salvation. And that's why it is so crucial.
That's your main worry.
It is a crucial issue. It is my main.
So how did people respond to your testimony in those interrogations and courthouses?
I'm so grateful that I have got a lot of support. There are thousands and thousands of people who tell that they are praying for me, also in Finland. And when this legal process came into public, there was also founded an association in Finland defending freedom of speech and freedom of faith. And they for example, they arranged some demonstrations in front of courthouse when I had the trial.
So you feel the support of
I
people.
have felt a lot of support also from abroad, and I have got also from Dutch people a lot of support. So I'm so grateful for all people who have prayed for me.
So looking back, knowing the consequences of everything, following this tweet, would you still do it if you...
Yes, I would. In fact, when I was in the police interrogation, the police, every time after when he had interrogated me, he asked that would I agree to delete my Twitter update and take away the church booklet. But I said that I will stand behind these teachings because they are not only my opinions, they are what
more people. Yeah.
they are what is in the Word of God.
So you already said a little bit about a booklet, because the tweet is not the only part of this legal case of yours. Can you tell what are the other parts?
Yes, when the Twitter case came into public, then there became more and more criminal complaints of my writings, because I have been so long time in public life and I have written a lot of books and articles and so on. So someone found a church booklet that I had written already 2004.
What was it about?
Its title was Male and Female. He created them. Homosexual Relationships Challenge the Christian worldview. And it was about marriage and gender, sexuality, and that kind of issue. As a doctor, as a Christian, and as a politician.
Do you see an acceleration in the backlash you get from writing these things from the past 5 years? Does the backlash get bigger through the years?
Yes, I would say that. Of course, this has gained a lot of more and more attention during these years, and it has been surprising that also this has gained a lot of attention from abroad. Yes, and then there were also one radio discussion, which was which is also accused.
So we have the tweet, the booklet, and the radio discussion.
Yes.
And this booklet, you've written it with Bishop Johanna Pohjola?
Yes, Bishop Johanna Pohjola was in charge of publishing it. I wrote it, but he published it 2004, and it is still online in the web pages of his church.
Yeah, so he also is accused of...
He is accused for publishing the pamphlet.
So what is the status of his case now?
He's also accused. So we were both in Helsinki District Court, and we were acquitted of all these charges. But then the prosecutor appealed to the appellate court, and we were also acquitted there. So there were 6 judges who unanimously acquitted us. But then the prosecutor is quite stubborn, and he appealed to the Supreme Court. And
so you've been acquitted unanimously twice?
Yes.
And still the prosecutor proceeds with this case?
Yes.
That is correct, right? So now it will be continued in the Supreme Court, the highest court in Finland. And when will that take place?
I don't yet know. Okay. I have to give a written answer to Supreme Court in the 17th of May, so quite soon. So I'm preparing the Supreme Court.
What are the possible outcomes?
Of course, I'm praying and working for that I would get acquittal from the Supreme Court, because it would be very important precedent. This case has been historic in Finland. We have never had this kind of case before, which deals so deeply freedom of Christian beliefs. In fact, in our mainstream media, in our secular media, it was named as a Bible trial. That the Bible is on the trial, because it is so much about the Bible. That are you allowed to express your faith on the Bible and your trust on the Bible about these contradictory issues of today. And if I will be acquitted in Supreme Court, it would give a strong precedent for the future, possible similar cases. If I would lose, it would mean quite a dangerous time. I would say that it would mean a start of persecutions in Finland.
In Europe, in Finland, maybe in Europe even. So what are your expectations?
I expect to win the case because I have got two so clear acquittals. And I think that I can trust on the constitution of Finland. We have in our constitution freedom of speech and freedom of faith. And then the accusations of the prosecutor, I think they are quite weak, because I have not spoken any hate speech. I have all the time spoken that God is love and He loves everyone. It is what Bible teaches is not about hate, it is about love. And He loves gay people also. And what the main argument of the prosecutor has been the concept of sin. So they have argued that if you speak about sin in the context of homosexual relationships, if you condemn the act, you also condemn the person and keep him or her inferior to other people. But I do not think so. It is against...
So how would you explain it?
I have said that, for example, I'm mother of 5. I have raised 5 children, and I had many times to blame them for some bad behavior, but it never meant that I think that these people, these children are not so valuable as the other children. And the same is also in courthouse, that if some criminal is condemned, it doesn't lessen their value or human rights. And it is also against Christian concept of human beings, because we all are sinners. And I have said it many times that I am a sinner, I need grace. And the sin is a concept that is something between God and man. It is not something that we compare each other.
Well, your case could end at the European Court of Human Rights, and you've said that you have less trust in that institution than in your national court. Why is that?
I have trust on our court system, in rule of law in Finland, and of course because I have got 2 acquittals from the lower courts. But and I believe that in Finland, in our courts, the ideological, for example, liberal progressive ideologies, they do not have such an impact on the rulings. But I know that in European Court of Human Rights there is quite a lot of more and more some kind of ideological background. We can see what is happening there. Many of those lawyers, they are from ideological NGOs. Their background is there. So I do not have such
that worries you a bit.
Yes.
Well, now in your country, in Finland, you are a prominent figure. Should your case be a warning for Christians in Europe?
Yes, I think that the prosecutor and the LGBT advocates, they have used this as a warning sign. What can happen if you speak, if you tell the biblical truth about today's contradictory issues. And I think that it should be taken quite seriously, because we are now living in a time when the Christian values are attacked in societies. We have a lot of cancel culture and for example, biological facts and about, for example, gender. They are argued today and targeted. And biblical values. So I want to encourage Christians to stay and stand behind these teachings of the Bible, and also to be open about their faith, and especially tell the gospel to people. Because the more we are silent about these painful issues of today, the narrower becomes the space to express your opinions and your views. And that's why I think that now it is important to encourage each other and pray for each other, especially young people. And of course, I have to say that what has given me most joy during this process is that this ordeal has opened up such possibilities to tell the good news, to tell the gospel in front of police, in courthouse, in press conferences, through live broadcast to Finnish homes, that I would never have had this audience without this process. So I think that God uses these kind of difficulties, and that's why I want to encourage that do not be afraid of these ordeals. And even we do not have to be afraid of persecutions, because these are, we can see in the Bible that God uses these kind of processes to bring the good news, the gospel to people. And I have got a lot of messages, for example, from Finland, from people who have told that when they have listened these programs and followed this process, they have started to read Bible, and they have even found Christ to their life. There are also gay people.
So there are good testimonies.
Yes, very encouraging testimonies. So I'm grateful to God for this process. This has been a privilege to me.
And you already said at the beginning of this conversation that you really experience how God gives you the words to speak when you are being persecuted.
Yes, I felt very concretely the power of prayer in courthouse and in police interrogations, and I believe that God answered these prayers, and He keeps His promises, what He has promised in Bible. Jesus is with us every day, and He is also in these difficult situations.
Last short question, what can our viewers do for you?
I'm so grateful for prayers, for me and for my family. I'm so happy that my family, my 5 children and my husband have been supporting me during this time. Of course, we have had some difficulties, but thank you for prayers.
Well, thank you for sharing your story here. Dit was Uitgelicht voor vandaag. Ik wil u heel erg bedanken voor het kijken en de volgende keer hoop ik u graag weer te zien. Graag tot dan.